Alright, so I had this video before, but the cat hit the button and made it stop recording. Alright, so I need from somebody to have more proof than uh, DRC, war torn cannibalism, those wackadoodles in Liberia eating people, and more than the very, very isolated murder and consumption of albino humans under the guise of medicine, which, I mean, that's, I don't know what's worse, that or some white people barging in there telling them that you gotta use European medicine from white men from Europe's medical knowledge. Just think how horrible it is to. No, I'm just kidding. Just go and tell those people that they're got a screw loose, and chopping up an albino human to turn him into a magic potion is beyond Woomeisters. That's just completely bonkers, and I know there's social justice warriors out there that are probably going to support it and say, it's a beautiful culture. All those missionaries that stopped everything like that. We gotta protect cannibalism. We can't let it die because some white people said it's wrong. Some white people said it's wrong. Alright, so I need a person with a degree to tell me if there are any people in any African area of all the entire giganto enormity of the African continent that culturally eat people as culture and not out of superstition, uh, woo, woo, and pseudoscience. But honest to God, culture, like how Vikings had all those bonkers cultures and how it was part of culture for Spanish crusaders to barbecue Muslims and eat them with glee. That I had to look that up. Apparently, they were starving, which oh my gosh, weren't there any vegetables you could eat? I mean, if you're stranded on a desert island and other or to eat the rats is you can eat the vegetables. What are the rats eating? I know the vegans use pig, but so are there? Because I guess if somebody wanted to be an asshole and just go, look at all these people, all these tribes, they're eating, all these tribes are eating humans. So all those racist cartoons where our humanoid animal characters are lost in the dark heart of Africa. All those rainforest, those tropical forests, and those people had somehow this stone spear and bone weapons, but they had giant cast iron pots, or maybe they don't spits. They're eating them. Oh no, our hero is being eaten by these dark-skinned humans, and nobody does that. They're just trying to make people look like savages, which might be what's going on in. I think I tried to read a thing. The Democratic Republic of Congo, that the Tiwa, or just saying these people are eating them to these people suck. Or maybe even historically everybody is gonna be these guys are gonna eat you. So don't trust them, they're bad. War, 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 fight, 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 kill, kill, kill. But they're not. I don't know. So, those albino Woomeisters, it has nothing to do with culture, just, I don't know, greed or wanting an excuse for murder. So I need somebody that knows their stuff. If there is anybody that is still doing that, and not out of like, we gotta eat these people or we're gonna die. Or maybe you could include grandma died, so we eat grandma so she's with us forever. And if we don't, and if we bury grandma, she's and we forget about her, she's gonna come back as a ghost and hurt us. I mean, that's a different kind of cannibalism, I guess. That's a funerary practice, but not, like, you know, hey, what you doing? It's my turf. Huh? You're intruding? You're intruding on my village? You're taking my food from my people? Okay, so these are the bird and I forget what its name is. I bought it for a friend. That is not that's a different cannibalism, is it? Or, if you eat your enemy, you gain enemy strength and power. Which I think still happens in some Oceanasian countries, right? That they're maybe in the Amazon. So yeah, apparently most cannibalism that's happening today is not in Africa at all. But like here's Africa and it's here, and white people kill and eat people all the time. Like some crazies in Germany and Australia, and some weird Dutch people had a thing where they just like took some muscle tissue from people and just cooked and ate it so everyone can see what that tastes like. I mean, technically that's cannibalism, but is it really the same? Like, you know, you have a war and you eat your enemies and you kill them, or somebody's trespassing, killing your gazelles, or I don't know, stealing your beans, or whatever other people do when they eat their enemies. Or maybe they were just a couple individual psychos that, saw some people camping, so they killed and eat them. Although I think one case may have been hearsay, or a couple of them, that nobody really got eaten by people when I found the campsite. Uh, but yeah, maybe they don't. Maybe nobody in Africa ever ate anybody. It's just that culture, just, people jumping on a fad for, and an excuse going, I can eat him. It's my culture. You know what kind of awful person you're gonna say if I can't have my culture? Yeah. What does that make you? Kind of like maybe it might be wrong to call people names, like that family that killed their kid because all they did is feed him watermelon to keep him pure because he was like the second coming of Jesus or something. So then that would be like all white people do that. Or, it's American culture to handle snakes in church. What else would there be? I don't know. It just would be a big aha proof if someone has this is wrong. You can't make a fantasy thing that takes place 500 years ago and have this group of people going with spears, wanting to kill and eat these other people. Nobody does that. That's racist. That's you're just saying that these are not human. Because like a bear would eat you. And you're making these humans to be monster animals for no reason other than to show they're the bad guy. That, and I also request, if you've been going through all this, Give me find honest people supporting cultures of cannibalism. I thought I found one, but it was just more like, well, a lot of people have misconceptions, and they don't really understand cannibalism, mostly because missionaries came and destroyed that culture by forcing them to stop. Um, Either A, it's you don't now we don't know. Now we don't have an answer. Where's the knowledge? I hope it's more that and not like ah oh tears falling everywhere. How could you? Like had the thing I read that like banning Sharia law in America is unconstitutional and also not allowing like a 14-year-old to marry maybe also unconstitutional. And so I know there's probably somebody out there that will at least be like, yes, it's weird. You know, your dad dies, so you cremate him, and then you mix the ashes with some broth, and everybody takes turns having a sip. Yeah, that's their culture. That's how you commune with your stay family, even when deceased. Maybe kind of supporting that is different, maybe one thing, but don't be one of those people that will be like, you know, making these dark skinned islanders that live in the jungle like cannibals is like so totally wrong. But you know, it's also so totally like wrong is like telling cannibals to like stop killing and eating each other because like that's their culture and you should like so totally understand what they're doing because it's not your culture doesn't mean it's wrong. If you're out there, then I don't. That just it tells me that because you're respecting those cannibals, that I can make a movie about a hypothetical tribe that does that. And why is that so wrong? Because like I didn't ask their permission. I have to give them revenue, reparations from my movie. I mean, if they are out there, why is there? Because it's a stereotype. I don't know. And are there any white people cultures? Maybe I did this already. That do have the cannibalism. You know, like I don't know. Maybe. Well, first of all, there's apparently like 6 kinds of white people. Like a bunch of different Caucasianoids. This means nothing. Uh, so how many of them to these days have, you know, actual culture of eating people? Like, you know, cultural practices like, you know, you know, Christmas crackers or whoever does king cakes. I think that's like Latinx. No, that's not Latinx. I don't know. Or white wedding dresses, wearing black for mourning. I forget the actual meaning of the word culture, which apparently some animals have culture. Some birds use different sticks. Some chimps use different ways of getting nuts. Uh, I guess it's the condemnability. There's probably been somewhere out there where if you were the best warrior and you ate the most humans that you've slain in battle, you probably were like, you know, had a special hat. And that is culture. So, but with that, I need you to show me that from a white people that weren't completely certifiably bonkers and that's still going on, or maybe was. I don't know. Maybe I don't know, were the Hungarian? Nah. I don't think the Hungarians had a culture of cannibalism. Who knows? Maybe all of them were, again, psychotic. Or just getting in touch with their animal inside of us. And when we started saying, you do not eat the human, it's bad, you do not eat your humans, kinds. Especially the brains. If you eat raw brains and you get all more psycho diseases, or you can. But you'd have to have mad human first. You don't get mad cow from a infected cow. Ah. And if this made you hungry, you've probably got issues like binge eating or something. So go make yourself some non-gendered, uh, non-gender specific cookie people. If you want to be really screwed up, you can make them biscuits and make them taste like ham, and then dip them in a soup. Yes, you make your soup, a cup of soup, and put all the vegetables in it, and then you make a like meatloaf cracker cookie person. It tastes like ham, and then you put them in there and you eat them. They're killing nuisance trees. They're half dead. They're finally doing that. After all this. It's a bad tree. It's gonna get us. It's gonna fall on us. It's rotten. Somewhere they're taking them down. Finally. Take those problematic trees. Gotta get rid of the zombie trees. They're upright, but sometimes they're rotten in the middle. Bad.